Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to go ahead and show you um, a cool website. It's called Sketchfab.com, and what it is it's basically a great website to display and start to create a portfolio of your 3D art. Um, so basically this is the main page or whatever, and there's all these different types of models, and you can search for 3D models. You can type in anything, so let's just start with furniture. I think I spelled that right. Um, and you'll see that there's all types of different models in here, and you can scrub around on these little pictures, and it'll start to do little rotations of it. Um, Here's another, right? So to give you an idea, this one doesn't want to load. To give you an idea of some 3D art that's out there, this is a great website to be a part of, for especially if you really are into 3D modeling. Now you can upload entire scenes like this one. Give it a second to load. And once it's loaded, you'll be able to rotate around the scene. This one has all these different little annotation things, and you'll be able to see all the textures, and you can see how high quality this really is. And they didn't include the back wall piece because they wanted you to be able to see the back of some of the texturing on here, and it's just a really cool website. Now, one of the things I wanted to show you in particular is I don't expect any of your final or midterm to look professionally done like these. You're still learning. It takes a while to get extremely good at 3D modeling and art and things like that. So I want to go ahead and show you down here in the bottom right hand corner, there's this little model inspector, and in here it's going to be able to show you the different types of materials. On this one it only has a diffuse, so not the greatest example here, but I'll go ahead and show you one of some of the models on my site, and you can take a look. So I'm going to also check on Wireframe here, and you can click on the Wireframe and you'll see these are all triangulated. Triangulated can be used for basically a lot of 3D software triangulates no matter what. Sometimes you have the option to turn it on or off, but basically, as I had mentioned in previous videos, that all 3D models are based on triangles because that's just how it calculates the polyplanes on a mesh. So you can go ahead and change the different colors of the wireframe on here and get a really cool look at how some of these are displayed. You can even take a look at it without any materials on it. Wireframe, Vertex normals, this is which direction the normals are going in. So in your UV editor, when you have the shaded display on, when it's blue it's good, that means it's pointing outward, and when it's red it's pointing the other way. So that's basically what this is able to tell you. And then you also have a UV checker, and it shows you the quality of your unwrap. So let me go to show you, go back over here. If I'll show you mine up here in the top right hand corner, if you don't have an account already, you can create a new account. I think all you need is an email and create a password, maybe a couple security questions that you have to make up. But I'm already logged in, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you. And I'll click on here, and I've got my popular 3D models here. They're all up here. These are all the models I've uploaded to the site. And because we're working on interior rooms, I figure I'll go ahead and show you something like this. So this might be a little bit better of an example. And not only can you upload just 3D static models, you can upload animated files too. So you can create animation. As you can see with mine, I've animated drawers opening and closing. So I'm just going to pause the animation right now and bring this all the way back. In the bottom left hand corner, if there is animation, there's a little play button. Now, also, let me exit full screen really quickly so you can see. Let me go back to my model inspector, and I'll show you what it looks like with the wireframe. This is my wireframe, and maybe a brighter color because you can't see it all too well. And this is what the topology of my object looks like. So then I can also do no post-processing. So this is just the model. Let me turn off wireframe. The model by itself without any what they call post-processing in here. You can set types of like little filters inside of Sketchfab to really bring the quality of your model higher. I'll stick with final render for now. It's a lot of lighting and things like that. To rotate around an object, you just click. You'll see the little hand, and you can just click and rotate around. The only difference is you don't have to hold Alt for this like you do in Maya. Right click, pans, middle mouse button click, pans, and then you can use your middle mouse button to zoom in and out. You can also hold Alt and right click and adjust the direction of the lighting. And then under my material channels, I'll just show you base color. This is just the base diffuse texture. This is what it looks like without a specular map, without a normal map, without anything like that. And then it also has the ability to do PBR rendering or PBR textures, so you can get extra materials in here. We don't cover too much on that, but we do cover the basics for every object by industry standard. You have to have a diffuse map, specular map, and normal map. So now in here you can see there's something called metalness. I don't have any map on that particular channel. I have a roughness map that kind of displays some of the roughness on the object, and you'll see it's sort of on the corners and the edges and things like that. I have a normal map. You can see the normal map. If I zoom in a little bit more, you'll be able to see some of that information there. And I don't have an emission map. That's sort of like a kind of think of it as like sort of glow map. Here's my specular map, right? So my handles are a little bit higher in color, so they're lighter, whites and light grays, whereas the rest is sort of dark grays and things like that. And then I've got I don't have a clear coat, but you could do something called a clear coat if I had some type of polyurethane laid out over this or something. And then there's a clear coat roughness. I also don't have a map for that. So this one is just base color, roughness, normal, and specular. Those are the only maps that I use for this one. Now I can go down here, matte cap. That's just what it would look like. You see how it says geometry? This is just what it looks like as if there was no texture applied to it. And then matte cap plus surface. This would be the material, the normal map, and just the mesh itself. So it'll just be matte cap basically plus the normal map, so plus surface they call it. And then I've got the wireframe, so you can see the wireframe on here. And you also have the ability, if I go up to final render and you want to see what it looks like with the wireframe on the final render, you can do that as well. And then it has, obviously I've already covered vertex normals to see which direction the normals are facing, and then a UV checker to see the quality of your checkers. And this is where you want to see that checkerboard, those squares that we were talking about. You want to see all squares instead of some models. It's impossible to get perfect squares everywhere. You're going to get some distortion, but that's what this is. So you can really get great presentation piece by using this website. And anyway, I just wanted to sort of dive into that a little bit and show you where this model came from, and to sort of start to give you some ideas possibly for your final project. So I'll post another video on how to upload an object to Sketchfab and go through some of the settings in there. But this is really just your introduction to it. Take a look at the site. It's a great site, and I hope you have fun sort of browsing through. And you can always upload your own models to here and start to create a really cool portfolio for yourself for 3D art. So anyway, thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, shoot me a message, and I'll be sure to post another video on how to upload to this site. Alright.